just me and my guitar.
Hey, what's happening guys? Mark back here on Mark's Aquatics. Today I thought what we would do is I'm going to take you through how I feed kale to my shrimps. They absolutely love this stuff and it's super cheap to buy it and really simple to prepare it as well. A lot of people use spinach and other things which are also equally as good, but I like to use kale, especially if you've got little problems of shedding, you know, the molting side of things. Give them a couple of weeks eating kale and it'll really strengthen those shells up because it's quite high in calcium and other vitamins and minerals also. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out to my freezer. Now what I do is I buy a big bag. I'll go and get it in a sec, but when you buy it, it's obviously fresh in a bag and they fill it full of air or whatever they put in these bags these days. So you want to, what I do is I pierce that bag, let the air out, and then I let the air out. Hello mate. He can climb up anywhere, this cat, now I tell you. And yeah, so what I do is I take the air out the bag, I put it in the freezer, freeze it solid, and then we crumple it all up. So I'll go and get it now and I'll show you what we get up to, or how I do it, okay? Right, that's the stuff we buy. Do you like that as well, do you? Just kale, normal kale, but you can get a big bag of it like that. I hear a lot of people saying, oh, this is, you know, if we can only buy a couple of leaves or that, we don't want all this, we don't need all this stuff. Now what I do is I grow it. Now this is absolutely freezing cold. And all you do now, lots of noise. You've got to do it though when it's really want a piece? Come and have some kale. It's good for you. Right, so what we've done is now we've sort of scrumpled it right down now. It's still some quite big bits in there and it does defrost very quickly. So maybe put it back in the freezer. But why I do that is because you get lumps in there like the stalk. Now I tend to just take that out and get rid of that, but all the very fine powdery bits that come off now, which are snapping up brilliantly into little tiny pieces, you can squash that down even more until you get an absolutely very fine texture like you've got in the bottom there, you see? Little focus. Now those little bits there, once you crumple it up into that size that you want, this is going to have to go back into the fridge again, into the freezer again. I'll do a smaller amount. There goes my plant. Good on you mate, he loves that plant. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out some of these finer bits and then I'm going to show you, once you've actually compacted it all down very fine, you can take little bits out, put it in boiling water and just add it into your shrimp tank, and it's very easy to do it. You're off of there, come on. Your history, you're after, what are you after, my crocodile? Ooh, he's a monkey. I'll have to put that back up there. He'll bite ya. He'll have you. Don't do it. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to get some of these small bits out now and I'll come back to you and I'll show you. I'll put some in the shrimp tanks and they go nuts for this stuff, they really do. Right, okay guys, I've chopped it all up, I've squashed it all up in the box there, and as you can see now it's gone very fine and it's very slowly defrosting, but that's what you can get it down to. You can get it down to a really small box. Most of that in there now is stalks and the heavier parts of the leaf, which I don't want to use. You can use it, but I like to get the very fine stuff out, crumbles up nice and small, saves you doing tons of chopping, and you get a load of stalks. Now what I'll do is I'll just boil them up and I'll have them with a meal or something, and eat that myself, because it's really, really good for you, kale. I think half of us spend more of our time, sorry I'm munching it now, I think more of us spend more of our time feeding our shrimps the healthiest stuff we can get, and half of us don't feed ourselves the proper stuff. All these McDonald's and things, scoffing everywhere, and different fast foods and things, all these convenience foods. So start eating some of this as well, guys. It's absolutely brilliant for you, full of vitamin A, vitamin K, vitamin C, B6, manganese, calcium, copper, potassium. Oh, the list's endless. It's so good for you, it really is. And the shrimp will love it. And like I say, it's good for their molting. If you've got molting problems, give them some of this for a couple of weeks and you'll sort it out. Oh, I love it. Right, what we're going to do now is we're going to get this little jug, and we're just going to get some very fine bits out. Now I've done this quickly, but if you shake the box and then take it to the side, you'll find your finer bits will be down the bottom. You can always freeze this again, and you only want a pinch depending on how many shrimp you've got. I'm only going to do a pinch because I fed my guys some of this the day before yesterday, and so they're fine. So but I'm sure they'll have some more. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into the, that's all I'm using, like a little bit like that. But what I'm going to do is now I'm going to go into the kitchen, boil a kettle, fill it up to about there with boiling water from the kettle, stick it in the microwave and put it on for a couple of minutes, and then we'll go into the shrimp room and we'll throw it in the tank, and you can see what they make of it. Okay, we're back into this. We're back in the workshop. I've just microwaved that for 2 minutes, and as you can see, it's sunk nicely to the bottom and softened up really well. Now what we've got to do is drain this water out. I'm going to run it through with a bit of fresh water as well, and then we can pop some in the tank. We'll put some in this tank as well there while we're here. So let's well, I'll be back in a second. I'm just going to rinse this out and then we'll put some in the tank. Right, we've left a little bit of water in there. Just take a couple of bits out and drop them in. I don't know if you guys can see that sinking down. Yeah, it's slowly sinking down, and I'll take you out the tripod. I'll just go and put this in the other tank before I take you out the tripod. But there you go, look at that, they're munching away on that already. Enjoying themselves in there. The old filter system's working brilliantly. We've got absolutely zero of anything in this tank. That water is absolutely mint with that little filter running. And these little guys are all nice and busy. And nice and healthy. Right, we'll go into the shrimp room now and we'll see how they're getting on with their kale in there. There you go, guys. Absolutely loving this stuff. I did feed them some day before yesterday. You can see them all grabbing a piece and running off with it. It's all mine. We got a good old mixture of shrimp in here. Everyone's happy and healthy. and they're really tucking into that stuff. They really are. You can't beat kale for healthy vitamins and minerals for your shrimps, even your fish. They'll eat that as well. Lemon, will you let go of my cable, please? Ow. Let go of me as well, thank you. Now you're trapped. Let go, let go, let go. Thank you very much. Anyway, a couple of you guys have been asking about Frank there. Oh, Frank, there he is. Watch your mate. He's had his breakfast this morning. And him and Lemon, they do get on. Always playing with each other, aren't you, through the glass. This was a bad idea wearing this mic today. I thought I'd see if it made the sound quality any better. But there's the boy. Ooh, you still want to have a go at me? He's a, you know, Midas, a very, very aggressive fish. As you see, smacking on the glass there, trying to get me. If I put my finger in there, I'd be bleeding, that's for sure. But I love him to bits. I love him to bits. He's a lovely fish. And we may have located a girlfriend for you as well, which is absolutely awesome. Right, back to the kale and these shrimps. Look at that, absolutely loving that stuff. And you can buy a big bag of that and it will last you months. One big bag, freeze it, crush it down like I showed you, take out all the big stalks, put it in a little Tupperware bowl, hide it in the fridge somewhere, and then just take a little pinch out as and when you want it. I use it a couple of times a week, and then I put the other stuff in, the sticks I make with the spirulina and the leaf food that I make as well. Chuck a bit of other foods, different foods in there. I try and mix it up as much as I can to give these guys the as much food and as much variation as I can. And it pays off because they're breeding like crazy, molting amazing, no losses, and everyone's really doing well. The little sakuras are going mad. There are berries everywhere all over those, as well the crystal blacks and reds as well. Little blue bolt down there, she got some berries on her as well. But everyone's nice and healthy. Yeah, we've given this one a water change, little 10% water change. Yesterday I did that after I unpacked all that JBL stuff, which was absolutely amazing. Still can't get over that, to be honest. And we've given the other shrimp tank a water change as well. We'll go and have a look at that one now as well. Yeah, we've given this one a water change as well. Lovely and crystal clear. Still cycling this one away. Still got a little bit of ammonia in this one. And a bit of nitrate and a bit of nitrite as well, as you would imagine, because it's a new setup. So but what I do normally is I'll do a fishless cycle in these, and I'll just drop in, I don't know if you've watched any of the older videos that I've done where I use a little bit of cooked shrimp, and just the shrimps that you buy from your local shops, just put a little tiny piece in and let it rot in the bottom, and that will create ammonia, and obviously that will kickstart the bacteria that we put off in there even more. They'll feed on that, and that will cycle that instead of putting a live creature in there, which isn't very nice for them. Adding your fish too soon to any system because of the ammonia, you'll burn their gills if it's fish, and it'll be an awful time for them while it cycles through. They might survive it, but it will damage them. They won't be really healthy and grow properly afterwards. So patience is the key with any of these tanks. It really is, unless you can come across extra biological filtration media like I've got, luckily, because I've got a lot of stuff in the system and know a lot of people that have got different bits that I can beg, steal and borrow to speed the process up slightly. But if you haven't got those, you can always do it that way and use a fishless cycle. If you're unfamiliar with that term, just Google it or look it up on YouTube. There'll be a few videos on there, I'm sure, showing you how to go about that. All the koi are nice and healthy. getting a bit slower now. They've had their food this morning, so they're just chilling out now. I say I've got the covers on the pond outside. Everything's slowly dying back now as we go into autumn. But the lovely thing about having this indoor section of the pond is, and with the covers on, it stays around 15 degrees. Doesn't really drop below 10 degrees. Maybe for a week or two during the winter, but not often with the covers on. Which is great. So they do get a semi-cooling off period, but the water doesn't freeze here in the UK. So we're quite lucky in that respect. Anyway guys, if you like that little kale video, give it a little thumbs up, like, share and subscribe as always, which is always appreciated. Get more of you guys on board and teach you as much as we can about keeping all our little friends and making sure they're nice and healthy. Anyway guys, you're all stars. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, pop back and have a look at the other videos. Encourage you to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for up and coming videos so you can jump on them straight away. And as always, you're all stars. Love you loads. Take care, and I'll see you on the next episode of Mark's Aquatics. Bye for now.
Just me and my guitar.